How do you deal with, I guess early on you would have just set expectations. Like if you would have looked at it and went like, you're probably not going to place, for example.
Yeah.
How do you, because I've just had this conversation twice in the last 3 weeks of like, why?
Yeah.
They're like, oh, I want to compete. I'm like, why? And what the outcome is that you want. Because it's like, if you want a medal, we need 18 months.
Yeah.
If you don't, 9 is fine.
Look, you got to be honest, and I had this conversation during the week with someone. I crushed their feelings a little bit, probably annoyed them a little bit, like in a consult.
Yeah.
But like they were like, I want to win. I was like, okay, well, what if you're not ready? Like, what if someone with experience that you've come to says you're not ready?
Yeah.
What would you do? And I could tell that kind of hit a little bit of a nerve. Even just like looking at like the last stage performance and like the condition, I was like, you were nowhere near.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I mean this respectfully, but like just still a fair way off.
Yeah.
And I was just like, this is like this group of people with the same body composition as you. So I'm talking height and gender.
Yeah.
Like they landed here and you were here.
Yeah.
So I'm like, something doesn't add up there.
Yeah.
And so, like I in this game, you have to be 100% transparent with the person.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to create a problem in the future where you've you've promised something that they can't be delivered.
Yeah.
And they're frustrated because they're giving it everything they've got, and you're frustrated because there's this expectation that's not realistic. Like, you just got to be super like realistic with them. And like even when they say they're going to win, like even with Kayla, I didn't say a single thing about winning.
Yeah.
Not a single thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't even on the table. Even we've never talked about winning.
Yeah.
From the get go.
Yeah.
It's just like do everything that is asked of you and put yourself in a position where that can happen.
Yeah.
Like I don't mind the competitiveness. I just think in bodybuilding, the tough thing is just like some monster from somewhere can just decide after 10 to 15 years of working out, I'm going to do my first show and then go in your first season.
Yeah.
It's like I'll go in if I ever do if I commit to this next show, I'll be a novice in said federation.
Yeah.
And it's like, got 20 years of training.
Yeah.
Against someone with 3. I mean, someone with 3 probably still has more muscle than I do, but but you know what I mean? Like there can be scenarios where it's just like you just can't control who walks up there. So
it's one of the sports to like hard work pays off. Like it's just the idea is, well, if I just work harder than everyone else,
you have
then
to.
I should win, and you're the coach, and you should have the protocol that means I win.
Yeah, the tough part is like you kind of have to have half of that mentality. You can't have all of that. It's just like the reality is like I've got clients that I work twice as hard as they do, and they get twice the amount of results as me in half the work.
Yeah,
and it's like that's just the unfair genetic advantage they have. But it doesn't take away the behavior. You guys all act the same.
Yeah,
like it's just that they have an amplification of that work,
and that's really challenging to look someone in the eye and be like, you can do absolutely everything correct for the next 20
and still
weeks
not
and not win.
Yeah, and but then the flip side of that is, like I've said in the past, is it's still circumstantial winning. Like it means nothing.
Yeah.
Like it still is a little bit meaningless in my opinion, because all it takes is for someone not to do a category, someone not to be there on a certain day, someone to get sick, someone to pull out for personal reasons, and they were like physically better than you. And you go up there and have the best day and get your gold medal and all that. And like, granted, like you were there and that's part of it. But it's like, does that change the day? Like if those people come and you get third or you don't place at all? Like, it's like you're in the best shape of your life. Like you committed to something and actually, went through with it. Like it's a sport. Like, do you only play basketball when you win? Do you only play footy when you win? Like, do you only go to the gym when you PB? Like,
exactly.
It can't be about that. Like it can't just be about that. It's a nice thing to do, and I'm a competitive fucking person. Like I am so competitive, and even through them I'm competitive. Like I'm like, as soon as they walk out, I'm like scanning everyone. I was like asking the guys backstage whilst they were out there, I'm like pulling them over, and I'm like, all right, what do I need to do to get them in, because that's my job. But I would never put that expectation on people to be like, until they've had enough work and built a physique and been in the sport enough, and I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah, I think
it's time to win now.
I think that's the difference. So I've had 3 competitors maybe that I'm like, this is, if you do the work, it's a medal, and it's a medal at nationals.
Yeah.
And that's when the discussion can be about that.
Absolutely.
But before,
need a baseline.
It's like you've got to have the runs on the board. You've got to have shown the work, like that. We don't know where you're going to land in your first couple of meets, and then when you've done your first couple of meets, we probably already know
definitely
realistically where things are going to land.
I know 4 weeks out.
Yeah,
I can tell 4 weeks out. I'm like, this is a high caliber physique. Yeah. In terms of conditioning, symmetry, presentation, because they've done the work for the posing. By then, you've seen the muscle, you see the shape, you know they're going to be conditioned enough to be competitive. You'll know it 4 weeks out, but you won't know before then. How
often would you see someone not be in first call out, come back the following season and place?
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe not the following season because it depends on the gap.
Yeah, that's what I'm curious about. So, in powerlifting, it's pretty rare to be like, oh, you were 8th. And now all of a sudden you're thrown around for the podium.
The consideration would be if it's only conditioning. So if you're in the second call out because you're just not conditioned enough, you have too much body fat.
Yeah, you can change that.
You can make that up in a year because your start point was just too far.
Yeah,
and that's one of the lessons. I'm going to talk about some lessons I have after this, of like what I'm taking out of this prep. Like they just started too far, so you can just start closer next time.
Yeah,
and solve that issue. It depends what issue you have to solve.
Yeah.
If you have to solve like this person needs 5 kilos of muscle, like I don't know if you can solve that in 12 months.
Yeah.
Because it's 12 months including another prep.
Months, really.
Yeah, and then even then it's like 2 months recovery. Like you're not putting on any muscle there, or you're putting on minimal amounts that aren't intentional.
Yeah.
So then we get to Kayla. So props off to Kayla because I killed this woman from one show to the other.
Yeah.
Literally, and I can't stress that hard enough. Not going to go into specifics on the protocol, as I don't want people looking at a specific physique and then going, this is what it takes for everybody to do that. Because that's not necessarily the case. So we got some feedback 4 days out, and I'd already I already knew I've got to push and deplete her a little bit first. But then on the carb up, I was going to carb her up heavily because I felt she was a little bit flat, and just didn't have enough fullness in the upper body. So then we got this feedback, and they were like, it was really close. This was the most stacked lineup we've ever had. It was the matter of points, not. So I was like, okay. So then, and then they were like, this is what needs to happen for you to improve from this show to the next. So then I was like, okay, this is what needs to happen. So the plan, it was cool. The planets aligned because the plan that I'd already had to Wednesday was exactly what we needed to do anyway.
Yep.
And then I was like, cool, jump on a call. And I'm like, this is what they want. This is the plan we've got. And these are the changes that we should make. And then she was just like, whatever, just tell me what you want me to do. And I was like, okay, so this is what I want you to do. And then she's like, okay, I can do that. And then on the day, when she come out, so actually I'll rewind a little bit. I could tell she was nervous. I knew she was in a good position. I was really confident. I think she had a bit of pressure put on herself because when you've competed the first time, you want the next time to be better.
Yeah.
So I could feel that. I remember I took her downstage in the intermission because I was like, you just need to get away from all these girls, and respectfully, Jackson, I love you, but get away from you as well. Yeah. And just have her be with me and just in her own thoughts. Yeah. And I just remember this little moment we had, and I was just like, I know you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself, but I'm like, I really just need you to go out there and just have a fucking good time. I'm like, if you can sit there and tell me over the last 7 days that you've skipped on something, then you can put pressure on yourself. Yeah. But I'm like, I haven't seen that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I said, we're prepared, we're ready to go, let's do it. And then I remember as she came out, it's really cool when you know what you're looking for. So in the lights, because I was like, your tan wasn't dark enough last week. There's just a couple of things, even presentation wise, she played around with some stuff with her coach, her posing coach, which was awesome. And when she come out, I was just blown away.
Yeah.
It was just the hair, the makeup, the fullness, the conditioning, just everything, the color of the tan, the hardness of the muscle. When she come out, I was like, this is perfect.
Yeah.
It was just perfection. And so then, you're playing the bodybuilding math game. So they all come out She got first. So then I'm like, okay, who's not doing this division?
Yeah.
So then she came out for the next one. I'm like, okay, so that one, she didn't do the first one. Oh, she got first again. Cool. So I'm like, there's one more now. She does the open. If she wins, she takes it home.
Yeah.
And then in the open, it was just like a combination of, but there was one other girl, and then she got first.
Yeah.
So then Jess goes to me, grabs me, and she's like, does that mean? And I'm like, I'm like, if anyone's going to have this taken away from them, it's me. And it's funny, Caleb was like, the girl next to me said congratulations beforehand, and Caleb was like, I still didn't think that I was going to get it.
Yeah.
And then they gave her, then she won the overall and deserved champion, which everyone's a deserved champion in my opinion. I don't think they hand it to somebody who doesn't deserve it. But it was just a really great outcome for a very hard week for somebody.
Yeah.
Which showed, I hope it proved to herself that she's capable of a lot. And it's funny because like what I asked of her to do for those 4 days has now been a similar standard for the last 2 weeks. And she's just eating it the fuck up.
Yeah.
It's just showing someone what
she
they
knows. Yeah.
Yeah, but there's the belief, right? It's a funny thing. It's like you're willing to do really hard stuff when your belief is really high.
Yeah.
It's I can't remember who I was talking to about it. As the whole like science-based training movement.
Yeah.
The reason why people like that is because the likelihood of them putting their time and effort into something has a body of proof.
Correct.
So I can sit there and be like, we've got all of this stuff here to show you that if you train this way, you'll get this.
Yeah.
But you still don't know.
Correct.
But it's better than the bro who goes, nah, just fucking lift heavy and train hard, bro.
Yeah.
And do that for 5 to 6 days a week. Some guys are like, I don't want to fucking do
for
that.
the next 5 years.
I don't want to do that. So, it's kind of the same.
Yeah.
Like, now she's got her own proof. It's like, this is the hardest thing I ever did, and this is what happened.
Yeah.
So now if I go even harder, and I'm not trying to make it hard. I'm trying to make it necessary. So that's, I want to make that very clear. But you can just tell, like, the response.
Yeah.
And then, we're in a fucking great position.
She looks
now.
insane, dude.
Yeah, insane. Yeah, absolutely. So then I want to get through just like the prep for nationals for each athlete, and then I just want to go through these like 5 lessons and we'll wrap it up. So I'll see if I can get that done in the next like 10 to 15. So when we look at the feedback for the guys, everything was really positive. It was basically just down to a little bit of presentation stuff and a tiny bit more conditioning, which when you got multiple shows and you've got a gap between them and stuff, that's always going to be the feedback.
Yeah.
So the thing that I was really happy with was there was no issues with fullness, no issues with being watery, no issues with like the peak itself for the day. So the peaks, and they all had different peaks. We nailed, and that's really promising. And even the feedback from the guys was great as well. Just digestion and all that kind of stuff. So from that side of things, it's good. Everything that we're doing now is based on the feedback we've gotten from the judges, and it's things that we can control.
Yep.
And it's things that we have total influence on. So leading into next week, we're going to have 3 people who are going to have improved packages unless something really, really ridiculous happens, which is highly unlikely.
Yeah.
Which is super exciting.